Cloak and dagger stuff with Norfolk.
I wasn't sure you'd accept, whether you'd be willing to take on such a heavy workload. And as you know, I don't like to be turned down.
Oh, I might still turn you down.
Because the offer came from me? No, you won't. You're far too shrewd to let personal animosity interfere with your business judgment. Frankly, I'm surprised you didn't accept immediately.
I wanted to be sure there were no strings attached.
Strings?
That this was purely a business offer, nothing else.
You have my word.
And secondly, I want to ensure the future of the Mermaid. You'll honor all Relton's commitments to the yard.
Of course. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless the breakup of the catamaran destroys its credibility.
No, it won't. We're exhibiting Barracuda at the boat show next year. We expect our credibility to be vastly increased.
In that case, I shall be happy to keep it under my umbrella.
You won't try to interfere? To replace its present management?
I have no plans to replace them. And as managing director, you'd be a guarantee of my good faith.
Very well. I accept.
Splendid.
I still don't know why you chose me, Charles, after all we've been through.
I chose you because you have a first-class brain. That campaign you organized against my takeover bid was very impressive.
How did you know I organized it?
Now, you really wouldn't expect me to tell you that, would you?
It was David Lloyd, wasn't it? And you didn't reward him for all his hard work. You've made a powerful enemy.
Unfortunately, my dear, so have you.
It's not just the boat, you see. According to Bill Sayers, she's suing for the loss of her husband. Seems he was pulling in about 150 grand a year.
Yes, but £2 million. The publicity really hurt the yard, especially your father.
How's Dad taking it?
Not badly. Jack's giving him hell and the blokes are muttering behind his back.
Well, what about Avril?
No, she's not around much. Spends most of her time in Southampton these days.
Will Tom be able to prove that there was nothing wrong with the boat?
Not now Mrs. Travis's law has impounded the wreckage. He can't clear himself.
Well, could it have been a design fault?
Well, a catamaran's not like other craft. Even an experienced designer can get it wrong.
Who on earth's that?
I'll go.
Looks like Dad needs some moral support. I'll go and see him tomorrow if you don't need me.
Good idea, darling. In fact, I don't need your husband either. Now, look, it's just a question of unpacking, and that's my department.
Hello?
Something wrong?
I've made such an idiot of myself. Leo, could I possibly stay for a couple of days?
Of course. Come in.
In fact, Claude, I'd rather you took the day off. I'll get on much quicker without you breathing down my neck.
Oh. Mum, can I have a word?
How about that? A whole day together. After we've been to see Dad, we could go water skiing. There's a fabulous forecast.
Excellent.
What is it, Leo?
It's Abby. She needs to stay for a couple of days.
Where is she?
I'm sorry about this, Mrs. Howard. I just couldn't face my parents just at the moment.
Well, I sure have to tell them where you are.
Come on, Mum.
Polly's a good friend of mine, Leo. And anyway, she'd be worried to death, Abby. Is that agreed?
Lord, I didn't want anyone to see me like this.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just having a bit of a blub, that's all.
Cottage.
Well, it is rather painful. I keep telling myself it's all my own fault. That only makes it worse. If only I hadn't been such a blithering idiot.
Well, life's full of if onlys. There's no point in trying to catch them.
Once they're gone for good.
You're being very philosophical this morning. Why aren't you at the yard?
Need somebody to talk to. Someone who's not involved with the yard.
The accident.
It's not just that. I want to know that I'm basically the same man I was 2 years ago, that I haven't suddenly turned into Attila the Hun. I seem to spend most of my time having blazing rows with everybody.
If you've been having blazing rows with Jack Rolfe, everyone does that. I've had a couple of humdingers with him myself.
No, it's not Jack.
The penny droppeth. Avril.
I had a real set-to last night.
What about?
She's accepted the managing directorship of Relton Marine after fighting tooth and nail to block Freer's takeover.
That is odd. Did she give you any explanation?
She claims it's the only way she has of protecting the yard's interests, but I don't believe a word of it.
What do you believe?
Frere's an old boyfriend.
The old green-eyed monster rearing his ugly head. Tom, I'm so sorry. You're not thinking of resigning, are you?
Oh, no. No, everything I have is tied up in that yard. But Jack already blames me for the breakup with the catamaran, and if Avril's on his side, life is going to be bloody difficult.
He said he had to go up to Birmingham to see this man who'd kicked his dog to death. Show him the red card, he said. I thought he was just going to talk to him. You know, I feel so used by him. He wanted me to work in an animal laboratory. To be a spy.
What happened?
It was awful. I just sat in that van and watched. It was awful.
Yeah, okay, but what happened?
Well, he had a cosh in his jacket. As soon as the man came to the door, he dragged him out into the garden and started bashing him on the head with it. Even when he bashed him unconscious, he just kept on kicking him. I should have tried to stop it, but I was so horrified I couldn't move.
It doesn't sound like there was anything you could have done.
Oh, he was in a sadistic frenzy. That was the sickening thing. I think he was enjoying it.
What did you say when he came back?
I said I never wanted to see him again. You know, hitch back, take my chances with a rapist.
Poor old Abby. You certainly can pick on me.
I shouldn't be let out.
So, what will you do now?
I'll get a job, I suppose. I have to get away from my parents.
Well, make sure it's an indoor one, eh? Listen, I have to go to work. Will you be all right on your own?
I want to be on my own.
Okay, then. Bye.
Leo. Nothing. Well, thanks.
For what?
For being the one person I am glad I picked.
I picked you, remember? Out of the sea.